A very good afternoon to you from Silvana Pavlovska and our YouTube channel In Focus with Silvana Pavlovska. We're going to talk about the Republic of Krushevo, Ilinden, and their historical legacy. Many of you may not be aware of what we mean when we say the Republic of Krushevo, Ilinden, and the historical legacy. So let's have a look at that. The uprising set up against the Ottomans by the IMRO, which stands for the Inner Macedonian Revolutionary Organization, which led to the proclamation of the short-lived Republic of Krushevo, is named Ilinden Uprising because it started in the region of Bitola on the 2nd of August 1903. 2nd of August 1903, during the celebration of St. Elia's Day in Macedonian Ilinden. The manifesto of Krushevo, released on the 2nd and 3rd of August 1903, reads as follows. And it's quoted from the FAO Macedonia website. Fellow countrymen and dear neighbors, we, your perennial neighbors, friends and acquaintances from beautiful Krushevo and its lovely villages, regardless of faith, nationality, sex, or conviction, not being able to endure any more the tyranny of bloodthirsty murtads who hunger for human flesh, who would like to lead both you and us to slaughter, to reduce both you and us to poverty, and to turn our dear and wealthy land of Macedonia into a wasteland. We have today raised our heads and decided to defend ourselves with rifles in our hands from our and your enemies and obtain freedom. You know very well that we are not evil, and you understand that it is trouble that made us risk our lives so that we might begin living like human beings or die like heroes. And because since the times of our grandfathers and great-grandfathers, we have lived together like brothers of this land, we consider you as our own and would like it to remain the same forever. We have not raised our rifles against you. It would be shameful for us to do so. We have not raised against the peaceful, diligent, and honest Turkish people who, like ourselves, earn their living through sweat full of blood. They are our brothers with whom we have always lived and would like to live again. We have not risen to slaughter and plunder, to set fire and steal. We have had enough of countless derebuis pillaging and plundering our poor and blood-stained Macedonia. We have not risen to convert to Christianity and disgrace your mothers and sisters, wives and daughters. You should know that your property, your lives, your faith, and your honor are as dear to us as our own. Alas, we have taken up arms only to protect our property, our lives, our faith, and our honor. We are not merchants of our own land that has given birth to us. We are not robbers and plunderers, but revolutionaries sworn to die for justice and freedom. We rebel against tyranny and against slavery. We are fighting and will fight against merchants, against robbers, against oppressors and plunderers, against besmirchers of our honor and our faith, and against those who benefit from our sweat and exploit our labor. Do not be afraid of us and of our villages. We shall not harm anyone. Not only do we consider you as our brothers, but we also feel sorry for you as our brothers, since we understand that you are slaves like ourselves, slaves of the Sultan and of his beys, effendis, and pashas, slaves of the rich and powerful, slaves of tyrants and oppressors who have set fire to the empire from all four sides and have made us rise up for justice, for freedom, and for human life. We invite you too to join us in our struggle for justice, freedom, and human life. Come, Muslim brothers, let us together go against your and our enemies. Come under the banner of autonomous Macedonia. Macedonia is the mother of us all, and she calls on us for help. Let us break the chains of slavery, free ourselves from suffering and pain, and dry the rivers of blood and tears. Join us, brothers. Let us fuse our souls and hearts and save ourselves, so that we and our children and our children's children might live in peace, work calmly, and make progress. Dear neighbors, we understand that you, as Turks, Arnauts, and Muslims, might think that the empire is yours and that you are not slaves, since there is no cross on the imperial flag, but a star and a crescent. You will soon see and understand that this is not so and that you are wrong. Nevertheless, if your honor does not allow you to join us and declare yourselves against the Sultan's tyranny, we, your brothers in suffering and of the same homeland, shall do you no harm and shall not hate you. We will fight alone, both for you and us, and if necessary, we will fight to the last man under the banner for our and your freedom, for our and your justice. Freedom or death is written on our foreheads and on our blood-stained banner. We have already raised the banner, and there is no way back. If you consider us as your brothers too, if you wish us well, if you intend to live with us again as you have lived up to now, and if you are faithful and worthy sons of our mother Macedonia, you could help us in one way at least, and it would be a great help. Indeed, do not make partners of the enemy. Do not raise guns against us, and do not oppress the Christian villages. May God bless our holy struggle for justice and freedom. Long live the fighters for freedom and all honest and good Macedonian sons. Hooray for autonomous Macedonia. The original of the manifesto is not found yet. The text is recovered after the memories of one of its authors, Nikola Kirov-Maisky, who published it in 1923, 20 years after the uprising, in his drama named Ilinden. So till now, the manifesto exists only as a piece of literature and in historiography. The insurrection was quickly suppressed by the Ottoman army, but Ilinden became a founding myth of the Macedonian nationalism. Quoting James Kraft, the ideals of Ilinden, uses of memory and nationalism in socialist Macedonia, Columbia University, 1996. In a pamphlet published in 1924, IMRO, which stands for, again, Inner Macedonian Revolutionary Organization, member Dimo Hadjidimov wrote, Macedonia had its first Ilinden. It was followed by bloody days of destruction and terrible suffering. There'll be a second Ilinden in the new and safer age of the victories which are close at hand. The second Ilinden is near. It is coming. And on that day, those who still remain from the first Ilinden will embrace their new leaders and rejoice in the ideal that they have achieved. Later, the myth of Ilinden was used by the Communist Party of Yugoslavia to attract the Macedonian nationalists. On the 2nd of August 1940, Svetozar Vukmanović Tempo, Tito's envoy, organized a less successful demonstration in Ilinden, attracting several thousand participants. On the 2nd of August 1943, the new Central Committee of the Communist Party of Macedonia issued an Ilinden manifesto exalting the National Liberation Army and Commander Tito as the guarantors of freedom and equality for the Macedonian people. The first meeting of the Anti-Fascist Assembly of National Liberation of Macedonia, or ANSOM, took place on the 2nd of August 1944. once again on Ilinden's Day. The establishment of the Socialist Republic of Macedonia on that day was hailed as a second Ilinden, calling to mind the vision of Dimo Hadjidimov. Now, that was an article titled The Republic of Krushevo, Ilinden and Their Historical Legacy. As we approach Ilinden, we will be availing ourselves with more information on Ilinden, and it will be done in English as well as in Macedonian. Ilinden has a huge significance in the Macedonia in Macedonia and outside Macedonia, wherever there are Macedonian people. And this Ilinden will be celebrated as usual on the 2nd of August 2024. There'll be various celebrations here in Melbourne, Australia, as there will be in Macedonia and other parts of the world where our people reside. So we will be talking about Ilinden as a national Macedonian holiday and the significance of this Ilinden uprising, the first one and then the second one. Thank you for your attention. You've been listening to In Focus with Silvana Pavlovska from Melbourne, Australia. Have a good afternoon. Bye for now.